President Granger accepts letters of credence from Portugal, Sierra Leone, and Belgium, and government rejects baseless Global Witness report. Welcome to InfoHub. It's Wednesday, February 5. It's 25 days to general elections and 19 days to our Golden Jubilee Republic anniversary. Thank you for joining us. Guyana continues to strengthen its diplomatic ties as the head of state accepted letters of credence from Portugal, Sierra Leone, and the Kingdom of Belgium today. Details in our first report. At this morning's accreditation ceremony, President David Granger congratulated the high-level diplomats on their appointments and welcomed them to Guyana.
I assure you the full support of my government as you discharge your mandate as ambassador. Our relations are founded on the principles of mutual respect for each other's territorial integrity and sovereignty, mutual non-interference in each other's internal affairs, cooperation for mutual benefit, respect for treaty and international law, and the maintenance of international peace and security.
His Excellency Carlos Amaro, Ambassador of the Portuguese Republic, committed to working to strengthen diplomatic relations with Guyana.
We believe in a multilateral approach, and it is within this framework that the accreditation last year of an Ambassador of Guyana to Portugal will certainly help to further develop the relations between our two countries, as well as ensuring the flow of dialogue between the authorities and institutions of both our nations.
Meanwhile, His Excellency Sadiq Abubakar Y, High Commissioner of the Republic of Sierra Leone, issued similar assurances.
We share similar positions on important issues of global concern, such as sustainable development, human rights, democracy, good governance, as well as maintaining international peace and security. Let me assure you that we will continue to collaborate with your government to further strengthen our multilateral cooperation.
Ambassador of the Kingdom of Belgium, His Excellency Hugo Verbis, commented on Guyana's vast economic potential and expressed eagerness to forging new relations and strengthening diplomatic ties. The government has rejected a report released by Global Witness yesterday. The release, according to the administration, is sensationalist, agenda-driven, and extraordinarily speculative.
The government, via media release, said Global Witness presented absolutely no evidence of corruption or malpractice on the part of the coalition or any of its officials, and views the international NGO report as a calculated attack on a sovereign state with a duly elected government. The government also questions the timing of the report, saying the fact that it comes a mere weeks before elections in Guyana is suspicious. Quote, "This timing cannot be seen as a coincidence, and it appears as though it is seeking to influence the electoral outcome." End of quote. On the report's comment on the drilling license for the Stabroek Block, the government outlined that credible international agencies have equally commented on this, among them Norway-based Rystad Energy and experts including Sir Paul Collier of the prestigious Oxford University. As per its current contract with ExxonMobil, Guyana will see or gets 50% profit oil, 2% royalty, withholding taxes, US $18 million sign-in bonus, over 1,900 persons directly employed in the oil and gas sector to date, over US $300 million in foreign direct investment to date, and over 700 service providers to date. In the meantime, Rystad Energy has stated that in the current fiscal regime, the government of Guyana collects its share through a 2% royalty and the 50% profit oil levy. Rystad Energy estimates that this will give the government 60% of the profit from the various projects the government take. Also, the average government take of 60% in Guyana is indeed favourable when compared to other large offshore producers. The Guyana economy has also been described as one of the fastest growing economies in the world and is expected to experience vast wealth as a result of the oil and gas agreement. Reiterating that the Global Witness report deliberately seeks to trivialize the national security and sovereignty of Guyana, the government shared that Forbes magazine, a leading financial publication, has described the Global Witness report as an ideologically motivated attack piece aimed at some of the biggest players in the oil and gas industry. Felicia Valenzuela, InfoHub.
Holding true to his commitment of restoring local democracy, His Excellency President David Granger over the last 4 years established 4 new towns. They include Bartica, Lethim, Maruruma and Madia. The new towns have become the hub of economic development in the hinterland regions they represent. President Granger believes that every region must have a capital town to drive local economic empowerment.
Last evening, residents of Plum Park, Sophia, heard of the many promises the coalition has kept to the citizens through developmental projects across the country.
Addressing the community meeting, Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu highlighted that over the last 4 years, ministers of government have been traveling to the various communities to listen and address the issues and concerns of Guyanese.
That is a working government. And that is a government that you want to return to office, a government that is committed. We encourage them to fan out, to reach out, to go out to the people, and to have all the outreaches you see ministers have been having, and they've been solving your problem, whether it is land problem, housing problem, water problem, street light problem, school problem, all your problems, we have been reaching out to you.
Turning his focus to the oil sector and the recent information published by Global Witness, the Prime Minister explained that this is a calculated attack on Guyana mere weeks before an election.
This Global Witness is a lying witness, is a false witness, a fake witness. And I want to use this opportunity tonight to say to the world that never again, never would we allow those with vested interests, big interests, to come and fool us and divide us and turn us against each other. After March 3rd, when we are returned to office with a resounding victory, we will continue to lead this country and to use oil revenues to give the life that we promised you, the good life. And no one is going to take that away from you.
Prime Minister Nagamutu urged the residents of Sophia to remain firm in their conviction and stay focused when going to the polls on March 2nd. For InfoHub, Rebecca Ganish.
When the news returns, oil producing status and expected mutual evaluation headline NRA meeting, and Ministry of Education donates football gear to schools. Details of these stories and more after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. Guyana's new oil-producing status and the upcoming 4th round of mutual evaluation are the highlights of a 3-day national risk assessment workshop underway at the Marriott Hotel.
Following on the heels of an earlier national risk assessment seminar, the Money Laundering and Terrorism Financing Workshop, being hosted by the World Bank, will lay the foundation for the mitigation of financial crimes. Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Basil Williams, Senior Counsel, said that the complexity and scope of financial crimes evolve as new technologies, products, and sectors emerge.
Embarking on a second NRA is timely for Guyana, as we are now an oil-producing nation. This new sector will change our financial landscape, and in fact, the landscape is already being changed. For instance, there has been an increase in business and investment, and our economy is continually growing.
The AG noted that while the development is a positive for Guyana, all must be vigilant as there can be additional financial risks. Guyana has been diligent in its fight against money laundering and other financial crimes and has been successfully meeting its international obligations in this fight.
Overall, this second NRA exercise is relevant as Guyana is preparing for its 4th round of mutual evaluation by the CFATF, which is scheduled for the first quarter of 2023. In 2023, we will have to demonstrate, in addition to having the laws and institutions in place, that Guyana is also effective in mitigating money laundering, terrorist financing, and proliferation financing risks.
World Bank representative Mr. Claudio Stroligo said that the stand against financial terrorism requires the involvement of all. He said countries need to be true to themselves if they are to weed out the issue. For InfoHub, Alexis Rodney.
To make the 50th Republic anniversary indeed a golden one, Anson McCall and Republic Bank Guyana Limited have made substantial contributions to the Department of Social Cohesion.
The donations were presented to the Minister of Social Cohesion, Dr. the Honorable George Norton, on Wednesday.
I am indeed happy to have the Republic Bank Guyana Limited making this continued commitment to pan music in Guyana. This is for 12 years they've been doing this. And there's no doubt that has contributed significantly to what I might refer to as the revival of pan music in Guyana.
Janelle Dummett, acting manager of marketing and communications for Republic Bank, presented a $3 million check to the department on behalf of the bank. In her remarks, she stated that the bank's support to pan music is a year-long.
Republic Bank's investment in steel pan is not just during matrimony time when we have the competition. That's like the culmination of like a year's activities, because in the preceding July there's usually a pan miners music literacy workshop where a lot of young people over the years have the opportunity of developing their skills, learning about the steel pan.
Matrimony coordinator Andrew Tyndall added that the bank's support to pan music has resulted in 12 music arrangers for this year's steel pan competition benefiting.
They would have been products of the Republic Bank Pan Miners Music Literacy Workshop. So right away we can see the results of this partnership where persons who would have benefited from training are now in a position to pass on knowledge and to contribute to the development of this art form.
Minister Norton also thanked Anson McCall for their continued support that has led to the success of several local artists. Cooperative Communications Officer for Anson McCall, Tristan Joseph, said that the company is a proud sponsor of the Soca Monarch competitions and also spoke of the rebranding of the competition from Carib Soca Monarch to the 592 Soca Monarch.
We understand that the Carib brand is the beer of the Caribbean, but since we're celebrating 50 years for our Jubilee, we want it to be nationalistic so we could feel the Guyanese vibes, the Guyanese atmosphere.
For InfoHub, I am Kelon Rover.
Recognizing that land allocation alone could not adequately meet the housing demands of citizens, the coalition government, through the Central Housing and Planning Authority, constructed over 280 homes. These included elevated, two-storied, flat and low-income duplexes. Also made available were single, elevated, single, flat, 2 and 3 bedroom homes. Families are now comfortably occupying their new homes at Undernaming on the west bank of Demerara, Perseverance and Prospect on the east bank, Hope Experiment on the west coast of Berbice, and the Milius Ward in Linden.
The Ministry of Education today handed over a quantity of football gear to 4 schools across the regions. Details in this report.
The schools receiving football gear were Annandale Secondary, Charlestown Secondary, Mackenzie High, and Desiree Fox Secondary School. In her remarks, Minister of Education Dr. Nicolette Henry said the administration is committed to the holistic development of Guyanese students since it is key to their overall development.
While this may appear on the face of it to be a very simple ceremony, it's a very important ceremony in line with the government's goal and agenda to ensure that every child in this country, irrespective of where he or she lives, would reach their full potential. The Ministry of Education is cognizant that providing academics alone will not be ideal. And so we are focusing on the holistic development of all of our students, and we want to promote healthy lifestyles, good morals, good values, and discipline will be extremely important to all of that.
Minister of Social Cohesion Dr. George Norton said the donation of the sports gear is another investment towards the development of sports in Guyana.
We have also invested heavily and will continue to invest in the development of sports grounds and playing fields in almost every community. We want to ensure that our children and youths have the facilities they need to not only be physically active and have fun, but also to prepare and practice for competition that will provide them in their future aspirations along the line of professional sports.
President of the Guyana Football Federation, Wayne Ford, noted that while the school environment is centered primarily around academics, mixing with sports will create a well-rounded individual. He said that the government of Guyana has been an important partner in football development. Isaiah Braffett for InfoHub.
As we prepare for Elections Day on March 2, if you have not done so as yet, check to ensure your name is on the revised list of electors. Voting is your democratic right. That's all for today. Connect with us on all our social media platforms, including WhatsApp, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Much more news is on our website, dpi.gov.gy. Your bridge and weather reports are up next. Goodbye.